the next step in making a clear tone is actually knowing the anatomy of the larynx itself. So let's just do an analogy. Let's pretend like it's like this paper cup, located right here in my throat. And this is sort of a half-cut version of it. So this is like a drum, and the vocal cords are stretched across the top, like this piece of saran wrap that I have over this paper cup. Okay, with this paper cup, I've cut a little hole here to represent the hole that would be between the two vocal cords if they were focused. And then if there's a hole in the bottom of the cup here, which is where the air would be coming up the trachea from the lungs. So I know all of you at one point have played a kazoo. So this works pretty much on the same principle as a kazoo. Or like if you took and put a piece of grass between your hands like this, your two fingers. Have you ever tried this? And then you blow on it and it makes a sound. Well, the vocal cords, I'll have to show you a more intricate view, but just for now, picture it like this. Like I say, it's just an analogy. It's not what it really looks like, but it gives you an idea of how they work. And these are like little curtains that open and close like this. Now, if I'm completely focused like this, then it's going to make a pure sound, see? Now, if it's open a little bit more like that, then the tongue is going to be breathy. So, if it's breathy, it's not going to sound thick. It's going to sound thin and reedy. Besides, if my vocal cords are separate like that, they're going to rub together just like my lips would if I kept rubbing them together, and they get chapped. The vocal cords, the tissue, is quite similar to the lips in that it stretches as I make the sounds. So if my lips were real dry and I went to stretch them, they may crack. Now, that probably won't happen, but just the same, you can't make a good tone if the vocal cords are not exactly together. Let's see, let's try it like this. Yeah, okay. Like that. Okay, now that would be more of a breathy tone. Oh, okay? Now if it's opened further, let's say more like about this, I can still speak, but it's a whisper. I can whisper out, and I can whisper in. But if you'll try that, you see that'll dry the vocal cords up in a real hurry, and you'll lose your voice eventually if you keep whispering. However, if you're focused like this, you'll never lose your voice. I sing all day, and sometimes 12 hours a day, and I don't lose my voice. Thank goodness. Okay, now, if your vocal cords are open all the way like this, you can get a clear breath, like, now I'm completely full of air, but I didn't make any sound. Now if I take the air in like this, not only does it go in slower, but it dries up my vocal cords. So try that and you'll see the difference like this. It's going to dry my vocal cords and it causes mucus to form on my vocal cords, which will cause me to eventually have to think about clearing my throat, which I don't want to do in the middle of a phrase when I'm singing. That's just disastrous. Okay, so the object is to avoid that. Now, so this is focused, which is a yes. This is breathy, which is no, no. And this is a whisper, which is absolutely, oh gosh, don't do that. And then open. So if it's open like this, then we breathe in, that's yes. So actually what I'm doing is I'm expanding my rib cage, which creates a vacuum and sucks the air in as I push down my diaphragm and let my stomach go, which I'm going to explain all on breath control. But for now, just think about opening the larynx. And the vocal cords, I mean. Open the vocal cords. on the intake of breath without any sound, and then when you let the breath out, make sure you're focused. Woo, not breathy. Woo. Okay, so how are you going to know if it's breathy or focused? Okay, here's the candle. Now, I'm going to hold it 6 inches or so in front of my mouth. Now, if I'm breathy, if I sing or talk breathy, you see the candle really wavers. Okay? Now, if I'm focused, it doesn't waver. So it doesn't make any difference how loud, how high, vibrato, or whatever. As long as I'm focused, it'll work fine. So, came out of focus, didn't I? See what happened? Ooh, no. So, whoops, came out of focus again. Now see, so you can tell when I'm out of focus. Okay, now you've heard people talk about a register break. Well, a register break is when you come out of focus. So if you come out of focus, the air comes through because the hole is larger. Now, when I go from a low note up to a high note, I'll know exactly where those register breaks are because the candle will waver. So what is a register break? Well, a register break is when you have to change positions in your throat to create the note. There's actually 6 different ways you can make every note, and that I'll talk about soon. So, and it depends upon the note and the vowel. So you use different ways to get different notes, what precedes it and what follows it. So let's just do it the easy way first. So now if I'm going to start at the bottom, I'm going to go like a siren from bottom to top and back down again. So if I have a break in my voice, you'll see the candle waver. Now there's lots of different ways, like I say, to get a note. And I'll show you which each one of them are, but right for now, try this. Now, okay, on the way up, did you see how I kind of had a few spots there that I had to concentrate on to make that shift? Okay, now try it with me again. You go get a candle, hold it up like this, and try the same thing. I have to get a nice big breath. Let's do it. I did it. You can too. Give it a try.